give a couple of seconds for people to come in, because so far, nobody.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 20 of Live with Jill and Frank. Tonight, we have some very interesting topics. My name is Jill Petrie. I'm a psychic medium, teacher, and an author. Frank?
And my name is Frank, and I'm a coach, among other things, but I'm also a mystic, and tonight I'm a mystic, so that's what counts tonight.
Okay. And so I think maybe we could even have Heather do an introduction since she's going to be our voice so people know it's not a ghost talking to
It's more fun if it's a ghost.
them. Heather, you want to give a quick introduction?
You want to say hi?
Hey y'all. You caught
Hey,
me off
y'all.
guard, Jill. I'm sorry.
I know
That's
she
what I do
does that.
best.
She does that.
Yeah, really.
That's
So,
Heather.
Okay.
She's our tech.
So where are we going to start? Because we have a few topics to discuss tonight.
Well, there was I don't know. Where did you want to start? Like, I know you said you had a few things pop up when we were talking earlier. So
Yeah, I know I want to talk about like empathic people, and
hmm
I also want to talk about um what did you say earlier?
well, I read a little part here in a book that talked about mystics, occultists, and
The
psychics.
veil.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing. That part could be a whole episode in itself. Well, yeah, and it means different things in different contexts and in different. So it's. I know the sentence kind of mentioned the veil, but the most important the veil being basically just the let's just for now call it the connection to the other world, to the multiple other worlds even. But it's the what exists between the etheric and the physical world
Right.
would be the veil. Now, what it was talking about was, well, here, let's. I guess if we're gonna talk about it, we might as well just. So it says there's one part in this where I'm gonna sound a little weird because I have no idea what the way she wrote the sentence, what it actually means. So I'll try
Okay,
to
let's
do
see
my
if I know
best.
what it means.
There are three types of persons who pass within the veil: the mystic, the psychic, and the occultist. The mystic aspires to union with God and achieves his end by putting aside all that is not of God in his life. The psychic is a receiver of subtle vibrations, but not a transmitter. The occultist must needs be to some extent at least a receiver, but his primary aim is to be able to control and direct in the invisible kingdoms in the same way that the man of science has learnt to control and direct in the kingdom of nature. So what they're saying basically is that the occultist does what a scientist would do in the physical world, but they do it in the astral world, in the other planes. The psychic is a receiver, and so they receive messages, they receive, like all kinds of vibrations from those other realms. And the mystic is just, yeah, I don't know why they even mentioned it. Well, because, yeah, we do breach the veil, but
Yeah, I
it's a
agree with it being there.
completely different thing for the mystic, though. Like, and it is exactly what's described there. It's, like for myself, my entire life, that's what it's been about. It's been about trying to find union with God. That's it.
Hmm.
That's the. And in my head, it's like, well, isn't that everybody's goal? But no,
So
it isn't.
these are some great topics for the holiday season because everybody feels, I think, a little closer to God during the holiday season. Well, let's say majority people feel, you feel magical things in the air, or maybe, if you notice when fall comes, you'll feel like for me, I get like in a really good mood because the leaves start falling and it gets cooler, probably
hmm
because it's so hot in Louisiana. But like you feel yourself changing.
Yeah, you don't know cooler. You don't know like 4 feet of snow and
We might run
shovel
a
in hand.
heater maybe 4 times a year, if that. And usually it's like a little plug-in heater to take a bath because there's no reason to heat up the whole house because it's not that cold.
Yeah. No, I'm in the sub-zero temperature. Well, whatever. It's not sub-zero yet in Fahrenheit. It's around 32 or whatever, but we'll get there though. It goes to minus 15 Celsius, whatever that is.
So if you're here, say hello. Let us know you're here in the comments. Please like and share the live. We're trying to reach as many people as possible, and by you liking and sharing and interacting with us, also it helps to raise algorithm. Did I say that right?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure
Algorithm.
I'm not sure what that means.
Meaning, like, if somebody likes and shares, um, the people who own the platforms are more likely to show it more.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what that word would be. I'm not sure.
Algorithm, I think.
Okay.
Hello,
Cool.
Beverly.
Hi, Beverly. So, okay,
So,
so about what it said though, do you agree with it? Like, do you feel a
yeah, I do.
psychic as a receiver? Okay. And so how do you, from a psychic standpoint, how do you cross the veil? Like, how does that happen for you? Maybe we can go into, like, how do we
So I
each
think the
cross the
first
veil?
thing we need to say is, like, when I think of the veil, what I think of is like a layer of fog, if that
Okay.
makes sense. Because sometimes it's easier to understand things if you can picture them. So if you
Yes.
can just picture a layer of fog. So the reason why I'm bringing that up is because, like, if we say veil, you may picture a piece of lace, like an
Oh,
actual veil.
yes.
You can't go through lace, but you can go through fog. So keep in mind the fog, and you basically just set your mind over, and you're there.
It's funny. I have the image of like the veils of a theater. Like you know what I mean? Though, like, is that what are they
The
called
curtain.
veils or the curtains? Like, yeah, that's what I think
I
of
mean,
when I
maybe
think
in some
veils.
countries, I'm not sure, but I see how I understand that
Well, I
point
think isn't
because
that? Let me
it's like
see.
open the curtain and you walk through. I get that. I can, everybody is gonna have a different way of
Well,
perceiving it.
that's it. Yeah, 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 for sure, for sure. Yeah,
So
because I
for
mean, like
me,
you
I
say, there's
perceive it
also
as
the
fog.
because like you say, there's also the definition of the wedding veil, right? Like
Right.
that's a
So basically, it's a mindset. When you move your mind, you can cross into the other side, into the veil.
okay. So how does that? But do you cross into the veil, or do you get information from the other side of the veil?
You can do it either way
Okay.
because you can actually have someone. I mean, I guess it's the same thing in my
No.
mind because you can have someone from the other side, like you can call someone to come and give you messages,
Hmm.
but you're still imagining that in your mind. So the minute you start putting your mind there, you're actually crossing.
Mm. Well, okay. What if I said though it's because you're receiving images from the other side of the veil,
Hmm.
but you're not like you're inviting somebody in your house. You're not visiting their house,
Right,
right?
right.
That's where the occultist they use the occultist in there because obviously the book is about the Kabbalah and whatever, and
Right.
she's a magician.
Now,
But
yes, and then yes and no, because if you want to go into like astro traveling and stuff like that,
mhm.
you're actually visiting that side. So yes and no.
Well, but that's the thing though. The once you start actively pursuing, now you're not a psychic anymore. Now you're starting to do more. You're becoming an occultist slowly, in some respect, because now you're taking that active role that you're going like, okay, I'm gonna go. Well, I mean, if you're using your astral body to just go visit Paris, you're just sure you're touching on the
I mean,
astral,
I
but
could do
you're
that on
wasting it.
Google Earth.
Yes, exactly. Like there's no, it's the same thing. Like somebody that says to me, I dedicated 2 years, I can bend the spoon. I'm gonna go, wow, that's useless. Like, what are you gonna do? You can bend the spoon. Okay, like seriously, stay away from my spoons.
Well, I think those type of
Like,
things are more to prove that the power is there because it's not a scientific proven fact. So those types of experiments are like dedicating your time to actually make something like that happen is showing that there is some kind of energy and power there to
yeah, see,
non.
that's where from a mystic standpoint, I go, fuck, that's wasted energy. Because you could like but it's
I
from a
mean,
mystic
it's
standpoint.
not.
I don't always realize that I do that, right? Like I
Well, I'm
look
not
at it
sure that
from.
it's actually if it's is or isn't wasted energy. It just depends on the person, because like you, I believe that what I need to be offering is healing and things that are helping people.
Mhm.
But in the person that would make a spoon bends mine, maybe their job is to um enhance science, and that maybe the world will be more awakened by his proof. I don't know what the big words are that I want to use, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, it's because of my standpoint. Like I'm slowly realizing that, but it's
Hmm.
because to me, I'm like, well, why doesn't everybody want to just rejoin with Source? But like that, no, not everybody does, and that's the reality. But to me, I'm always like, that's what I aim, right? So it's like, okay, let's rejoin Source. That's the
Hmm.
aim. And so, yes, like a mystic, it's a new thing that I went, oh my god, wait a minute, like that's exactly what sticks is a mystic. And even when I like looked at the Kabbalah and the Tree of Life and magic, I didn't take the occultist path, right? I took the center path, which is they called it the mystic path, and I was like, oh yeah, that's the mystic path. Okay, cool, that's awesome. But I never thought about it, and then eventually I went, wait a minute. Okay, so maybe that's what I am, a mystic.
I mean, Frank, that's just a label that some. I mean, I can say I'm a mystic and
Well,
still
you
do
could, but
basic
are you? Do
reading,
you do you dev- do
but
you
are
dedicate
you?
your life
But
at getting
but
closer to God? Do you talk to God every day? Do you talk to God multiple times a day? Do you pray? Do you like do devotion? Do you go and take time alone where you're talking to your God? Do you do all those things? Yes, then you're a mystic. If
but
you do
even
none of those things, you're
mhm.
probably not. You may be a psychic, you may be a medium, you'll be
I
something, but
don't
you won't be
think
a
a
mystic.
medium would not talk to God or some form of God in whatever they perceive God to
How
be.
much time of your day do you dedicate to finding God?
That's my whole life. But God's never going to be found. Like he's
Yes, he
already
is.
with
Oh
us.
God. Well, yeah.
He's already with us.
Yeah, you don't see him every day though.
Well, I don't think that that matters.
I think that matters a lot.
What do you want to see?
You
You
want to
see
be in his you
miracles
want to
every
be in its
day,
presence.
but I am.
Okay. So you feel in its presence because that's not what you tell me when we're not
Like, do
live.
I feel like when I die or whatever we say it is, um, there's going to be like this magical thing? No, I think it's going to be like whatever I make it out to be. Um, but I already think that God's presence is everywhere.
Well, yeah, it is, but
What do
how
you What
often
do
do
you
you think
mean?
about it?
Let's go back to what you said a minute ago. You said that's not what I say to you. What we talking about right there?
What do you mean? Well, because like the experience you were describing, I was like, okay, well, wait up. That's not usually how you describe life to me.
How would I describe it then?
I don't know because it's not me. I don't, but I know usually I'm
But
like, wait a
that's the
minute, that's not
thing.
it. Well, no, but it's like it. Okay, sure. So you're a mystic. Awesome. Go read the definition of a
Yeah,
mystic and
but
then go, am I
even though
that?
even though I could be that, that's not how I identify myself.
Okay, great. So it makes it wrong that I identify as
No,
that. Well, but you
No,
keep on coming
because you
back
don't
to,
have
well,
to
no,
be what
everybody's
I
a
am.
mystic. Why would you
You
be a mystic?
definitely
Everybody's a
not what I
mystic.
am. Everybody has the potential to be mystic.
Yeah, everybody has the potential to be everything, but not everybody is everything. Michael Jordan was a basketball player. He wasn't a,
Heather,
keyboard player. He
th-
wasn't a
Heather,
box.
this is your place.
Like, he wasn't playing piano. He was a
Next topic.
basketball player. Like, I mean, okay, so what are you saying about mystics then? What is a mystic?
Nothing. You brought it up.
For real? You're
What,
just
what
gonna
we
shut down the conversation?
no, what we
Okay,
said
well, no,
was
that's
this
okay. Let's change topics because you
and
just shut it
something
down.
else was easier to get across the veil, right?
No, not at all.
Well, then I don't know what we're talking about then.
Like, it's not a competition ever.
I never said it was. I
Okay,
never
well,
thought it was.
what's the easier and harder? Like, nobody has it easier, nobody has it harder.
No, we have different struggles. It's impossible for someone to have it easier and harder, and we don't know what other people's struggles are until we go through their shoes.
Well, no, but even if we do know, none of it is easier or hard. But okay, so I don't know. I'm asking you what you say,
I
like,
don't know, Frank.
because whatever
You
I
start
say about
complicating
mystics is
things,
making
and
you. Whatever I'm saying about mystics is definitely
what are you saying
unacceptable
about?
to you.
I,
What
no,
I'm saying is I'm a mystic,
Frank, I
and
don't
then
know
you go, well,
what
yeah,
you
but
know you're
everybody's
talking
a
about.
mystic.
Okay, finish what you saying, and then let's see,
No,
because
because
I
what
don't
I'm
even know what
saying
you're talking
doesn't
about.
matter.
Well,
Well,
then
no,
why are
that's
you saying it? I don't get it.
yeah. I won't. I won't. Let's move on. Let's move on.
Hello? Okay, move on.
Yeah. Let's move on. I have no idea why you react so bad to it.
I don't know I'm gonna have to go back and watch this because I don't think I had a bad reaction to anything
Oh,
today.
well, I said I'm a
But
mystic. A mystic is a person that seeks union with God and spends most of, like, anything they do in their life has to be in that aspect.
and
And
what did
then
I
you
say?
said, that's everybody. And I went, what the hell? That's everybody? That's most people? Don't even think about God once a month. Like,
I
most
can't
people
speak
never
for
think
most
about it.
people, but I can't.
Well,
I
you
can
did,
speak.
though. You said that's most people. That's everybody. You said you didn't speak for most people. You spoke for everybody. You said
I
that's
mean,
everybody.
majority of the people believe in some sort of God,
Okay, then whenever you say
or
you're a psychic, you're a medium, that's everybody. So why do you even bother? Why do you say
because
it?
not everybody is interested in developing it. Doesn't mean
Okay,
they don't have capability of developing it.
okay, but is every time you say I'm a psychic, should I go, well, yeah, but that's everybody?
Yeah, well, if you did, it would
That
be
should be
true.
my answer. It would be
It don't,
annoying.
it's not me to say what your answer should be.
No, I'm just saying that's a very dismissive answer.
Okay,
That's what I'm saying.
okay.
Because those tags were invented for a reason. Language is there for a reason. There's a difference
But
between
that doesn't
a
make one
psychic, an
language
occultist, and a
right and
mystic.
one language
Somebody
wrong.
wrote about it, that difference, and
Okay,
like,
there's a difference between a psychic and a psychic because not two psychics are the same. So what's the there's a difference between everybody. No two
okay,
people are exactly the same.
wow. So anything we're gonna say is gonna be discredited by that
What is,
logic.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Anything that we're gonna say is gonna fall in that category.
What does that mean? I don't know. You confusing me right now.
If I say most people travel, you can say, well, everybody's different. It doesn't like it won't. Like, no,
Well,
we're
it's
talking
true.
about
Everybody is
concepts
different.
that apply to the human race. Yes, God is God to everybody. It takes different shapes. It takes different, but I mean, we've made common words in order to understand each other. And when I bring up those words, you want to redefine them. And it's like, okay, sure, but how is that working? Like, how is that helping our conversation?
So if I say the sky is orange
Hmm.
and you see the sky being blue, does it matter?
No, that's not what you said, though. You didn't say I see the sky blue. If you had said I see the sky blue, that would have been better.
No, I said orange.
You said, well, everybody sees the sky orange.
And everybody sees it blue.
Yeah, everybody sees it blue.
Okay, so
See where we're going? Okay, so we're having a conversation. Everybody's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's the conversation we were having.
You lost me at hello, but okay.
Why everybody's lost. See what I mean? Like, it's just dismissive. It
You sound
dismisses
like-
what you said.
What are we talking about? I'm like confused right now. You are like trying to
I
mess
can
with
tell.
my mind.
So I'm trying to mess with your... Okay.
Your words are the way you wording things is messing with my mind. Maybe you're not trying on purpose, but you're trying me.
Okay. I'm giving you space. I'm letting you, like...
I'm good. I don't know what we're talking about next because I'm confused.
Just pick something. I'll be okay.
Okay, so tell us about the tree of life then.
Wow. We're jumping right into that one, eh? You know I love you, right? You do know.
I just want to change the subject totally because
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
just like,
I know. All right. So the tree of life. Well, here's what. No, better. I have a
you're
posting.
dismissing what I say.
Yes,
you
I am.
don't want to talk about the tree of life.
I don't. I should have
That's
said
called
that.
payback, Jill. That's payback.
I should have said that. It's because I'd like to come prepared to talk about the tree of life because
Okay.
it's very dear to me. It's very important to me. And it's something that I'd like. It might take even a couple of episodes because it's insanely heavy ish. So yeah, it's a topic I'd like to present on in a nice way. But I have something else we can talk about that you might like.
Okay.
It was I don't. Oh yeah, I can share a screen, can't I? All
Yes.
right.
If you're just now joining us, please comment in the comments, interact with us, like and share the live.
Let us know Frank is horrible. That's okay.
No,
can
I'll
take
take the blame.
No,
That
it's,
makes
not.
you feel
It's
better.
probably both of us.
I'm gonna have to go back and
It's
watch
both
this shit
of
though.
us. Yeah, we probably should watch it together so we can argue some more over it. Oh boy. All right. Okay. So, yeah, I think on the live this is showing up as a full screen-ish kind of thing.
I see the
All right.
rules of being human, but I can't see the rest. I can't see that far. My screen's like too far back.
Okay, but if it was a full screen, I assume I think people
If I
would
had
see
my
it.
phone in front of me, I would be able
Okay.
to see it. I'm just sitting too far from the screen.
Perfect. So, I thought this was like so dead on, because I don't know, like it made sense to me. So you tell me if it makes sense to you. It says the rules for being human handed down from ancient Sanskrit. You will receive a body. You may like it or not, but it will be yours for the entire period. You will learn lessons. You are, oh boy, now this is where,
Disagree with the first part. You want me to stop you and disagree, or what do you want me to do? Want me to
Well,
write
okay.
down what I disagree with?
I see where you're going with this, but you can change the shape of it, but... Okay, go on.
No, I'm gonna tell you after.
Okay. You will learn lessons. Holy crap. I suck at this because I can't see shit. You're enrolled in a full-time informal school called Life. It's a little bit like humorous, but whatever. Each day in this school you will have the opportunity to learn lessons. You may like the lesson or think them irrelevant and stupid. There are no mistakes, only lessons. Growth is a process of trial and error. Experimentation. The failed experiments are as much a part of the process as the experiments that ultimately work. A lesson is repeated until it is learned. A lesson will be presented to you in various forms until you have learned it. Then you can go on to the next lesson. Learning lessons does not end. There's no part of life that does not contain its lessons. If you're alive, there's a lesson to be learned. There's no better than here. When you're here, I like this part. When you're there has become here, you will simply obtain another there that will again look better than here. It's kind of a funny twist on it, and I thought it was kind of... Others are merely mirrors of you. You cannot love or hate something about another person unless it reflects to you something you love or hate about yourself. What you make of your life is up to you. You have all the tools and resources you need. What you do with them is up to you. The choice is yours. I thought it made sense.
I agree with all of it except the part about the very first part where it said you are given one body and you have to have it for your entire lifetime. That one could be wrong.
How? Okay.
Like if with switching souls switching
Oh,
could be
okay.
wrong.
Yeah. If somebody had
A soul switch, a soul swap.
okay, but wait a minute. I'll play the devil's advocate on that one because to
There you
the
go.
new soul that came in,
Ding
they
ding
still
ding. Hello.
no, but check it out. For the soul that left,
Mhm.
they did have the body for the
Mhm.
entire stay.
Right.
For the soul that comes in, they will have the body for their entire stay.
No, not necessarily.
Well,
Um.
they might leave, but then they've left.
No. So here's the thing.
Okay. Well,
If someone passes away, like let's say someone got in a car accident and their body was too bad, and so their soul. Well, sometimes when someone gets in an accident, they're not expecting to die. They don't realize they're dead. If a soul chose not to cross over for whatever reason, and it took over the body that of someone else, then it would be one soul with two bodies. Now, if a soul passes away, crosses over, goes to heaven, and then another soul is born, yes, same body.
okay. So in that respect, then, yeah, definitely, it would not.
It just depends on if the person is a walker or not.
Still, though, it was still cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
It's the
Everything
whole
else,
lessons part that's important, anyways. The
yeah,
most
you don't
important
have to
part is that,
disagree with something.
yeah, of course, but that's okay. That's what we do. um, but yeah, that's the whole thing, though. It's all lessons, and it's all, and people mirror you, and then you have to learn from that, right? Like it's all there all the time, and well, it's like what I said yesterday, right? That happened to me, where like my budget was like, I mean, I thought I was gonna starve, and all of a sudden things happened and whatever, but nothing that I was expecting, right? It was all like just, oh my god, like where did it come from? It never comes from where you'll think it comes from. It never like yeah, it's very it's more fluid than that, I think.
But you say that a lot. Like that usually happens to you. Like you worry, and it always ends up being worried for nothing.
Yeah, pretty much. Every single time, I'm like, okay, no, like, like I worry. It's weird because there's a part of me that worries
Hi,
and there's a
Nick.
part of me that knows. Oh, hi, Nick. There's a part of me that sort of knows that everything is going to be okay, and then at every time because it keeps on bringing me to the last second, right? And it's like, and every time at the last second, I'm like, okay, there's no way, like I'm not gonna get out of this, like there's not a chance.
But you
And
do.
then I do, and I'm like, okay, all right, it still worked. It's still, but a lot of that does come from the whole dedication to God and the whole like all that. It was part of it, though. That's all part of it's because it's not. See, union with Source is union with the world. And uniting with the world is like, but it's accomplished by trying to unite with Source. Well, by love, it's accomplished by love. You just, if you love everybody, if you truly, literally manage to love everyone, including the ones that have hurt you, but not, see, nobody understands that. Loving somebody that's hurt you does not mean letting them hurt you again, does not
Right.
mean having any kind of respect for them, does not mean any of those things. It simply means having love in your heart for
And that's the
everybody.
same with forgiveness. Like you
Yes.
don't forgive someone for you. I mean, for them, you forgive them for you.
Well, forgiveness is the only path to love. you have to forgive everybody in your life. That's the first. That's the step that brings you there. That's what brought me there, anyways. Like I
And
can't
it's a
say for
step to
everybody
healing.
else, but yeah, because that for me, that's what it was. Like it's funny because everybody's like, oh, spirituality, spirituality, and a lot of it for me. Like when I was young, I got interested in God, Jesus, whatever. Like I went to church, then I learned a little bit about spirituality, blah blah blah, and then eventually, when I went to rehab, it was 100% psychology. But psychology put with spirituality or what, like it just kind of it works together, right? And so digging into my trauma, like finding all my traumas, having them come back up, having like all that process, it was excruciating, but having to forgive all these people and to forgive myself and to forgive, like, especially myself, I think that was much harder.
Yeah, I
Like,
think that's the hardest part.
yeah, that's very hard. Uh, I still sometimes, right? I'll be like, oh, for God's sake, like, I can't believe I did this. Or, like, I mean, yeah, there's some examples, like some of the things that, are going on in my life these days. Like, some of that sometimes I go, oh, I should have done something before or whatever. You know what I mean? So it just kind of, there's always going to be some. But you always
Let's
have to come back to forgiveness, right? You go, oh, but it's okay. All right, let's be okay with this.
let's talk for a minute about the holiday season. And a lot of people can't afford to do the things they want to do, or buy the things they want to buy. I'm going to share with you a little game that I play with the circle members every year, because we have members from different countries and it's expensive to do international shipping. So this is something that it's not anything special, psychic or mediumistic wise, but it's something that you can do too. So what we do is we have a secret Santa, and for the secret Santa, instead of buying a gift for whoever's name you choose, you have to send them a secret message each week. So if you could just find your group of people that you hang out with online or whatever, or even in your own family in person, and just leave each other's little notes. It could be something very positive, of course, about the holiday time. Tell them what you like about them, what you love about them, what's special about them. Just something to lift their spirits up. You can do this with your household members, with your kids in the house, and leave little notes for the kids, or with family members that you see throughout the holiday season. It's
You
a
can
little
also feel
idea.
free to do that in June. Like, do
Yeah,
that all the time.
yeah,
Let the
but
people around you know you love them. It's
yeah,
important.
definitely. But for the holiday season, especially, sometimes people are feeling overwhelmed with costs. It's just the idea to know that it doesn't cost anything to brighten someone's day and to make their heart smile. So, and you should be doing that throughout the year. But if you haven't been, the holiday season's a good time to start.
Well, I was mentioning that earlier, right? Like it's not about money. It's not about like my kids, like the best Christmas my kids had with me, I made them presents. Like I sewed a dress. It wasn't even that well sewed. I sewed a dress for my daughter's doll, and I decorated my son's room with a bunch of things of his favorite video game that I printed and designed and tried to do, thing. And I mean, you know what? Like at first I felt like horrible, right? Like I think I could get them like a $20 present each, right? I was just like, oh my God, this is terrible. And I know their mom is like well off. So I was like, oh wow, this is going to be, fantastic. And, but you know what? Like we had a super good time, and my kids remember it as one of their favorite Christmas. So it's like, okay, all right, what do you know?
Yeah, the memories are the important things.
Yeah, it's well, there was a lot involved at that Christmas too. Like there was a lot of emotional stuff too, but like yeah, there was like the people when I was a kid. Okay, this is something I recommend everybody do this in their life at some point, somehow, whatever. Go hang out with old people, right? Go get like a whole bunch of dying people, and go hang out with them and say, hey, what do you think about life? right?
Mhm.
Because you know what? Old people have an outlook on life that's really, really special and really, really like they know what's important by then. And when I was a kid, we used to go to a lot, like my mom on her side of the family, there was a whole bunch of old people dying every left, right, and center, so we would go to wakes all the time. And so it was boring for me, and what I would do is I would go find a bunch of old people and I would go like, hey, tell me how it was back in your day. And so they would just all gather around me and be like, okay, so here's what things were.
And they
And
love
I
telling those stories.
yeah, and I'd listen, and then I'd say, "Well, okay, so you guys are all," and you know how I talk, like I don't care. So I'd be like, "Well, you guys are all close to dying, so what do you think is important?" Like,
Mhm.
like in retrospect, you must have a good idea. And you know what? Like for the most part, it was the people in your life. It's not. None of them said my job. None of them said my money. None of them said any of those things, right? Like they were like, it's how much time you've spent with your family. Some of them they hadn't spent enough time with their family. Some of them they had spent, like whatever. Like the things they regretted a lot was the things they had not done, not the things that they did wrong, but the things they didn't do. And
Mhm.
so, and I think what happens is you get back in touch with that inner child. And then it comes back out, and you're like, holy crap, man. Like, I totally disregarded that my entire life, but here I am now, back to being that person because I have nothing else to be because I'm dying. And so you kind of, like, I think you do a full circle, maybe. I think there's a reality that sets back in where it's like, oh, wait a minute. Like, here's what's important.
Mhm.
The people you leave behind, the people. I always say if you meet somebody, make sure that you leave their life better than when you found it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
just do a little something for them. Do whatever.
Yes.
But if you do something for everybody in your life, then guess what? You've changed the world in such a drastic way, it's not even funny. Because every single one of those
It is.
people might do good things for other people as well.
Yep. It inspires others to do good.
Yeah, it just ripples.
You will come across, a few that won't though.
That's okay. Yeah, but those are
Mhm.
just they're those people, right? Like, I mean, there's the people that I call the
No, I
NPCs,
was
right?
thinking about the homeless woman that I tried to give $5 to a couple of months ago, and she was like, "I don't want that," and I was like, "Oh, I'm
Weird.
sorry."
You know what? She may not have even been homeless because,
She
like, when
was.
I was in Montreal, when I was
People in the
homeless.
area told me that she only accepts food. She doesn't accept cash. I didn't know.
Oh, weird. Okay, well, she's got her reasons. I lived on the
I know,
streets,
but
right? So
it's
I know
just the
people
idea
like that.
like it's when somebody tries to help you, like, and you react that way, it makes me leery, like, to help somebody else because I'm like
Yes.
scared to approach.
Well, yeah, but I mean, no, like most people don't end up on the streets because they're doing good in their head. I mean, let's face it. I've had full out conversations with people that went like, hey, the helicopter is exactly what the coffee cup, because, that's what the camera needed, right? Like, because they talked about it and then the water bottle decided that it wasn't good. Like, I can carry on a conversation like that for a while. I, I,
Oh my
I
god.
practiced because there was one guy I knew he kind of talked that way. And so I really wanted to experience what it would be like to sit with him for 15, 20 minutes and talk. And so we did that for a little while. I don't know. I don't know if it was 15 minutes. It might have been shorter, but my friends were like, "You're nuts, Frank." His name was Rainbow. He had all these caps from like children's markers, and he had them all like put together, and it made this really long sort of like little wand thing and whatever. So people called him Rainbow. Like, yeah, he wasn't all there. There was a lot of people that were a little weird but I mean, whatever. It was, you kind of know them. And like, it's funny because now I walk with people and I'll pass like a place that has, like people like that, whatever. Like, and I'm just, I just keep on walking. And like, it doesn't even phase me, right? And people are like, oh my God. And I'm like, oh yeah, you're not used to this. Yeah, okay, cool. Where I would like, I even had a problem with my friends because I came back because I went and lived on the streets, and then I went back to college, and I had a deal with my parents at the time that if I went to college, they were gonna pay for my apartment and my food, and so I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna do that then, because I mean, might as well, right? And so I did that, and so but we would go to the bars with my friends and we'd go outside or whatever, right? And everybody'd be hanging out. And I'd be like, oh, let's just sit down. And I'd sit like right in the middle of the sidewalk or whatever. And people were like, what the hell are you doing, Frank? And I was like, oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, I'm used to doing stuff like that because we just did, right? Like it didn't matter when I was on the streets. Like you're going to sleep there anyways. Like, what do you care? It's my living room. And so we'd sit like anywhere, like on the sidewalk, whatever. We just play cards. We didn't care.
How many people were there in that area that were homeless?
Oh my God, a lot, like hundreds and hundreds, for sure. Yeah,
See, we
yeah.
don't have a lot of homeless people.
Montreal is a fairly big city. Like yeah, but it wasn't like concentrated like it is now. It wasn't like tent cities and whatever. We squatted in places like abandoned buildings or whatever, but
What's a squat? Like
um,
weed?
well, you'll go into an abandoned building, something that burnt down or something that, well, burnt down usually not because it's dangerous and whatever, but sometimes it's just an abandoned building that, they just, I don't know why they abandoned building, but they
What
do.
is a squat? Uh,
Well,
Peeing
squatting
on the
is
ground?
no, a squat is just, that's those places. That's what we used to call them.
Oh,
Like
a
you
squat to me is peeing on the ground.
oh, okay. Well, no, that's not what it was. But we did that too. Among many other things.
Heather, what's a squat to you?
Like you just walk in and you squat.
Yeah, well,
Like you just.
it's that too. Like, I mean, I'm not saying it's not that. It is that too.
Y'all want to
But
argue about it?
Yeah.
yeah, we should, eh? We haven't argued in a while. um, but yeah, anyway, so we
Like,
used
I don't
to,
know, it's been 15 minutes.
at least. So we, like, I mean, you know, we used to sleep in those places. There was an abandoned church that we used to go to sometimes, but it wasn't covered or anything. So we'd have to find new buildings because the police would come and kick us out and whatever. I didn't really care for it because it was always packed with people and it was noisy and there was people like whatever. So I'd go sleep in the parks. Like I didn't care. Well, I slept most of the time. I slept behind Place des Arts. Like it's the place where all the shows are, like all the concerts and the ballets and that kind of crap. But it's downtown, and there was like these back stairs that led to this little patch of grass in the back that we used to go and smoke all the time. And we'd stay there for hours and nobody would come. So I was like, well, wait a minute. Like, that's a good spot. Like, nobody comes. And so I'd go there to sleep. And then eventually the security guard, I probably shouldn't say that, the security guard that worked the nights there, she started showing up, and she'd come at like 6 in the morning, and she was like, dude, I've seen you a couple of nights sleeping. She was like, you're not really supposed to, but I don't think you're a person that bothers people. And we started talking too and whatever, and she was like, okay, well, you seem like a nice guy. And then so she sparked the joint, and we started smoking. And
With the
then
cop?
yeah, with the security guard. And then every morning she would come at 6 in the morning because the guy that worked after her, he wasn't nearly as friendly. But it was 6 in the morning, so it didn't matter. I was okay with waking up at 6 in the morning. So she would come and she would wake me up and we'd smoke a joint and then I'd go about my day, whatever. Like, but yeah, it was it was kind of cool. I had it a little bit set up, like I was I had my little and for me, panhandling was, I don't know, it was just so easy because I didn't, like, I mean, I don't know. I can convince people to give me money, I guess, somehow.
Did you hold signs up saying I'm poor, feed me or something?
Oh, no, I was way worse than that. I was way more aggressive. Not aggressive in a bad way, aggressive in a salesperson way. I would literally go up to people with this whole spiel. Like I would be like, "Okay, excuse me, I would like to go buy some PCP, and so I would need some of your money for that. I have $3.95, and I'm still missing $6.05. And so, in that respect, is there any money you could give me that would help me reach my goal?" And people were like, "You said what? You want to go do what? PCP, it's a drug." And they were like, "What? A what?" And I was like, "It's a horse tranquilizer." And they'd be like, You're going to do a what?" And I was like, "Yeah, like that's what I do. But here's the deal. If you don't like it, however, remember how I said I had $3.95 going to that? I said, here, in this pocket, and I'd pull out my change and I'd be like, look, there's $3.95. I said, however, in the other pocket is my food money. I said, but you'll notice it's not my $3.95. I said, here's $7 I have for food right now. As you can tell, because you're good in math, I'm sure, I could go buy drugs with the money I have. However, I promised other people that I would not spend their money on anything else but food, and that $7 is going on nothing else but food. Would you like to join that hand? And people were like, what the fuck? They were like, dude, you're like, where are you from? And they'd give me like a 10, a 20.
Yeah, to get rid of you, probably.
Because they were just like, what the hell are you? And then the other advantage is that anytime somebody was looking, that they were a traveler or whatever, and they were looking for drugs, they would go like, oh, dude, you know where to get some? Oh, my image just left, so give me a second.
Yeah, did you get kicked off of YouTube?
No,
yet?
it's because my battery of my camera, so now I have to go to my crappy webcam. Ta-da! It's because at some point my battery dies. So I thought I had found a solution. But anyway, so yeah, that's what, that's how it would go. I would but the stupid part too, the other thing I did though, which I believe helped, was if I would meet somebody else that was, let's say, panhandling for their breakfast or whatever, and I had already made money for food and made money for drugs, if they were going like, man, it's been a hard time, like, I don't know, I can't manage to get my breakfast, whatever, I would grab my money for drugs and give it to them. And then I would go get more money for drugs. Because I was like, their food is more important than my drugs. So I made sure sort of like that, the people I came across, that they were okay, that, everybody was fine. Because I had an easy time getting that money. So I would redistribute it in a way. Like, it was just kind of, but it made it work. Like, it just kind of, I swear to God. Nathan.
He's over there by you. Freezing over there in Canada.
Yeah, a little bit. It's not that. Hey, Google, what's the temperature right now in Fahrenheit?
I got an Alexa today.
Oh, wait up. Yeah, now I couldn't hear it. Hey, Google, what's the temperature right now in Fahrenheit?
The current temperature in Gatineau is 29 degrees Fahrenheit.
29 Fahrenheit.
How much is that?
In Celsius? I don't know. Hey, Google.
I mean, it's not that cold over
Hey,
there.
Google, what's the
29.
temperature in Celsius?
It's been a lot colder. 29.
It's
Well,
minus 2
31
Celsius.
31
-2.
is freezing, huh?
32. Which is our 0. See, it makes more sense when it's 0.
So so when you leave in the morning, you got to go put like hot water on your windshield and stuff?
No, that would break your windshield.
Ooh.
Not a good idea. Well,
So
it
how
can,
do you
anyways.
see out the windshield?
You scrape it with a scraper. You get the ice
I'm a
off your
girl.
car. You gotta scrape ice off your car sometimes, like a lot
Do
of
you
it.
have to go like shovel the way to get out?
I'm not supposed to because I live in a building, but yes, I
So
do.
They got a
I
shovel
have
for
to
you
go
to
take
use?
my. Yeah, but I have one, but I go use I go do my parking spot because they do it like crap, or they just do the middle and then they leave, and we're all stuck in the snow. So we all do our part.
Why don't you just get one of them things that go on the front of your car, like one of them machines that go like push it out?
I live in a building. I have a parking lot. I'm not gonna do that.
But you got to go shovel your own snow.
Yeah, but that takes like 33 seconds.
How often do they shovel the snow? Like, let's say it snows.
Yeah.
How long it's got to snow before it needs to be shoveled? Like a whole day, 2 days?
3 centimeters.
So how long that takes?
Not long. I mean,
Like,
like if it snows a lot, like there's going to be all kinds of trucks everywhere working at clearing the roads. Like you're not going anywhere unless those trucks are out.
so
Well,
they
you can, but
are they
it's a
there
little risky.
24/7 around the clock?
No, just when it snows.
What if it snows all
Well,
day?
and before it snows, what they'll do is they'll put salt on the roads. So like that, when it snows, the snow melts right away. Like I mean, we're used to living in that climate,
Is
right? So
that why my margaritas melt so fast? Because I got salt?
I don't know if regular salt has the same effect. Like it's not the same salt. You don't want to eat the salt that we put on the roads. Like
You don't want
that'll
to eat the
poison
snow
you
either, I
probably.
heard.
The snow. Well, just don't eat the yellow snow, because it probably it's gonna be tasty. But yeah, no, you can eat some of the snow. Like if it just fell and it's like a nice flat patch, like yeah, sure, you can grab a bunch of snow and eat it. It's actually good and it's kind of cool.
What if you walking and
Kids do it.
and trying to eat the snow and you got your mouth open just to eat the snow and a bird shits on top your head while you're trying to eat the snow? Has that happened?
Well, then you probably have some bad karma to work out.
It hasn't
That's
happened.
no. No, I don't. I think I've had a bird shit on me once in my life on my shoulder. Like that
Probably
was it.
because the birds all flew south for the winter.
And it wasn't even winter, I don't think. I think it was summer when it happened. But yeah.
Okay,
No,
so
it's
do you go ice fishing?
no. Well, this year I might go because my neighbor goes, but yeah.
What about skating or sledding or what?
I used to ski, but then last year I couldn't ski, whatever. So, but this year I can't either. And with my knee, I don't know if
You
I'll
have
be skiing
mountains?
again. Yeah. Well, we have hills. There are hills here. BC has mountains, and somewhere between Vermont and Quebec, there's the I don't know how to say it in English.
Appalachian?
Yes, that's how. I was like les Appalaches. So yes, we have those. That's where actually that I love skiing. There is J Peak is there, and it's like a freaking awesome. It's in Vermont. It's an awesome ski hill. Well, actually, that still isn't the Appalachians, is it? Appalachians, whatever.
Appalachian.
Appalachians. Seriously? How bad can I be? I'll probably never learn it too because it's not something I use often enough. See, that's the one thing I
Do you
hate
have to
about
cut
English.
firewood? Do you have to make your own fire?
No, no. Well, you can if you want, but you don't have to. I
How do
have
you heat
heat.
your house? Oh,
Well, with electricity or gas, we build an igloo and then we go in it. And
have you built an igloo?
hell no, I have no reasons to know how to build an igloo. Okay, you build an igloo if you live in the very, very north and you're walking on ice and there's
Like
no
where Santa
trees
Claus
and
live?
there's no. Yes, pretty much. Because the way they build an igloo is they cut hard snow slash ice. Like it's kind of at that point, it's almost ice, but it's kind of. And it's really packed, and so they can cut it into blocks and then build with those blocks. But if you have like fresh powder, you're not building an igloo because it's powdery
I would
snow
be
that
scared to be in
doesn't.
an igloo. It seems like they would fall easy.
No, no, no. Like that. Actually, that shape is actually one of the strongest shapes you can have once it's built. Like
Do they
until you
glue
build
the
it, it can
ice
topple.
together?
Once it's held, it's like because it forces against like every pressure like is maintained by the other side.
But are they gluing the ice together?
No.
Like, because they make it like bricks, right? The ice.
Yeah, yeah, a little bit, but it's I mean it's ice, right? So it's water. It'll melt and it'll stick together like it just I
Oh,
don't I've
so
never built one, so I don't
I mean,
know.
if
Don't
it melts, then it seems like it's gonna fall on you.
No, but you can melt it with friction. You can there's ways to like I don't know how they do it, but yeah, there's a bunch of ways that you do it with snow. With you tap it. Like I don't know exactly their techniques because they have way better techniques than I would ever have. All I did was play as a kid, right? I never we built forts. We made like when we
Have
get
you
like
ever?
heavy
Did you
sticky.
watch the movie The Christmas Story, where the little boy stuck his tongue to the flagpole?
Oh yeah, my son did that.
He got stuck.
That's a common thing.
Did they ban that?
Because
movie
kids
over
want to
there yet?
try. Because
I know,
kids want to
so-
try. They're like, oh really? And it's like, yeah,
Why
okay.
did they
well.
ban that movie so people stop getting their tongue stuck?
Oh, it's. I think that was a thing before the movie. I don't think it's the movie that did it. No, it's a yeah, it's a real thing though. It does. You stick to the pole, and then somebody has to come with water. Like, or you pull and it bleeds and it hurts and
Ooh.
yep. That's what my son did, I think. If I recall, he was young. He was very young when he did that. I don't think my daughter did it. I don't think I did it. I'm not sure. I might have. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I probably did it. But I know people that did. Like, everybody knows somebody that did because they're dumb and they went, oh. But I mean, look at people these days. There's probably more people that do it now than ever. I mean, people eat Tide. Really?
They might ban flagpoles sooner or later.
People set themselves on fire to get likes. I don't think sticking their tongues to poles. I mean, hey, every TikToker, visit Canada. Come and stick your tongues on poles. There you go. I just started a new TikTok trend.
You'll get us banned.
Yeah, I know. No. If it's a TikTok trend, it's fine.
Okay.
Okay, I think we're running out of topics at this point. So
Yeah, I guess we'll shut it down for tonight.
yeah. All right. Well, thanks a lot for joining us, guys. Sorry we were late. I mean, life happens.
So the
And,
next live is Tuesday, right?
Yes, it is. Tuesday the 6th. My
December
son
6th.
changed everything to French, and it's freaking me out.
Is it 6? Yeah.
Yes.
At
Mardi
7
the
p.m.
6th.
Central Standard Time. Even if you just come back and you catch some of this as a replay, please interact with us. We will be checking the comments, and we thank y'all for watching.
Yeah.
We have a
thanks for
quick
being with
video
us.
as we exit. Have a good night.
Take care, guys.